So, taking a look at precious metals specifically, I want to focus on silver right now. There's been some sudden declines that seem to get everybody back on the bearish side of things, and I think it shows what we're going through right now is actually a reversal, and that silver and other precious metals and miners are going to be moving higher. So, this was the move earlier this week, and all the action that I saw was very, very negative. But looking at even a daily view on this, all it really was is this hitting previous correction that we saw um, in August. So if we draw something here, you can see that those lows that we hit were roughly these highs. I typically just draw some horizontal lines to show where price could get stuck. This is one of those spots, and it's consolidating pretty strongly so far. So I want to see that continue into next week, but this does look positive as it's made new highs over what we saw in November. Now it'll reach this next consolidation zone, and I think silver is leading right now. If we look at the weekly, it's even more bullish for silver. So all of that action that we saw earlier this week before Christmas, amounted to this, and this is an extremely bullish view in my opinion. So I think silver is going to keep going higher, but what's feeding the negative side of this is traders are waiting for gold and miners to continue lower, and they see a lot more risk because they see those trends continuing. So let's look at miners. So miners aren't looking quite as constructive right now. This was that bounce that we saw earlier this year, or earlier in November. I got bullish here, but then had to back out of my position, seeing that the bears were still in control here. Now we're seeing another leg here. I think that this 50-day moving average is going to be support. So still cautious, of course, here, but I do think silver is leading here and is showing that the next move is higher. So I think miners could particularly catch up here, and in the next few weeks or months, also move back up to these summer highs and even further. But what we see right now is all traders that that I see on Twitter or FinTwit, things like that, very experienced, but they still want to see another leg down. This is what my trading strategy is all about: is finding sectors where there is some divergence, and you can find what's going to be leading the next phase in the bull market and getting in when everybody still expects declines. So since the summer, during all of these different pullbacks, if you remember, in August and in September, people were buying all of these dips all the way down, and it didn't really take hold until here that people started getting bearish. And now it's the exact opposite, where people are afraid to buy. They see this trend. It's all that they can see, and in the big picture of things, we're making higher highs and higher lows, and the next higher high is going to be somewhere in order of magnitude, 31 to 44. So add another 10-ish points. I don't know exactly where the upside is, because you can't understand where sentiment is going to be at the time, but I do think somewhere above 50 in first quarter next year isn't unreasonable here. So as a successful trader, you have to be able to identify when the market is starting to move, even if it doesn't agree with what people are saying, whether traders' expectations or the current trend. They're going to be focused on the current trend continuing, and also people always focus on what stock is hottest at the moment, what jumped 20% today. This all gets attention because people tend to believe that trends will continue, and they all want to catch the next hot stock. So that's what people are really interested in, but it's no way to actually invest and make money over the long term. So learn to make your own hypothesis, plan and understand the risks that you're taking, but then take the trade that you believe in and follow out your plan. Patience and risk management are the most important factors to successful investing. So really understand what you think is right, find a trend that you think is about to begin, and follow it.